We'd like to sincerely thank our Patreon supporters.
Hey, good morning, everybody. We've got an exciting day. We are moving the albino water monitors to the new property. I'm over here just checking on the last animals. We have our black dragon. We have Ivy, which is actually something interesting for you guys to see when I talk about a female monitor taking weight off of her stomach because she's cycling. That is exactly what I'm talking about. She is so uncomfortable that she's taking that weight off of her belly. She's laying in that awkward position. So if these animals were in a cage where I was able to do that, I would open the door. But because of everything shuffled around, there is no door between these two. So we are gonna miss yet another cycle from her, and that's what this move is costing us. Also, Sunny, you could see she's grown quite a bit. I know I promised to never do this through the screen anymore, but she's out there sunning herself. She's looking good. She's ready to move to the next property. So it's just only 3 animals out here that still need to be moved. And you can see all the demo work is done here. We still need a bobcat once all the rest of this is gone, that will come and grade this property and lay some fresh sod, and we could say it was never here. But that's not what today's video is about. We are walking into the albinos. The female is in her water, so I'm not able to clear that out yet. I've got his water out, and I've already removed the 4-inch screws that screw this enclosure together. There's 4 of them. He allowed me just to reach around them and get those screws out of there. So I've been towing this big trailer back and forth, and I'm gonna go ahead and grease the bearings before I load these guys up, open up the trailer, and get this show on the road. All right, so we have the female. She's moved into the trailer and strapped in place with 2 straps. She's still hanging out in her water, and the male still where we left him, still hanging out on the screen. What's up, big guy? He really has grown. He's a solid 4 feet right now. He looks good. No, he's missing a nail there. No, he's about to go through a shed. I could see it coming off of his eyelid there. Such pretty animals. Once we get them set up at the new place, I think there's going to be one more change. I think the final enclosure is going to be cleaner to show them off better, and I want some sort of a running water feature. I want to build a proper indoor enclosure, I think, when we do the front porch, to accommodate them, so we can actually see them. If they get in their clean running water, they would get all that little silt off of them, and you'd really get to appreciate how pretty they are in the future. That's right, not stacking up any more plans. All right, so we're gonna get him in the trailer and get up to Okeechobee before it gets too hot. All right, so we got to the Okeechobee property. Everything is still safely strapped in just where we had it. I moved these bins next to the albino enclosures just in case the strap came loose. Things couldn't really move too far in the trailer. In fact, I even put these stops up against the cages just in case. I mean, these straps were only held on by these little D-rings, and they can pull out of the plywood sometimes in transit, just in case I had to slam on the brakes. All this stuff would stop the enclosures from moving too much. Now, things have to move around You know, these are 4 foot deep, and then the two of them together are 10 foot long. I've already pulled the grow out cages that we set up yesterday. You can see the 2 black dragons there are up on their screens. That Guru Sulfur, he's enjoying his time on his shelf. You can see he's a little cautious. It's still a new enclosure, so I'm not going to get all that close. Got another black dragon in there, and the rest of the Guru Sulfurs in there. We're going to go through them, maybe even today on this video, move them into the water tub and separate them out. And we may even move the white throats into this enclosure. We could shuffle everything around. As long as we pick up the parts today and finish these 2 enclosures, we can do that. So inside the garage, I am now moving these animals to the other side of the garage where they're going to winter. Now, again, we built these shelf units on wheels, so I don't fully block my shelving. I can roll them forward and access my shelving. So I am kind of just shuffling everything around. These albinos are gonna go right here. This will be their power source right here for their timer. And we should be able to get them moved into this place. I think what I'm gonna do is move that last shelf unit, which is gonna block this doorway, and get it set up before I roll this other cage in place. All right, it's the next day, and I've got the garage all set up. I put together that last shelf unit in front of that doorway. Like I said, I'll never use that doorway. I need the storage more than that. I've moved the babies in their aquariums in front of those racks, and now they're on wheels, so I can roll them out. And there's enough room underneath, conveniently, for the low 2x2x4s to slide underneath them. Because again, in the winter, I'm gonna pack stuff in here, and the more heat lamps that I have running on the certain cages, the more ambient heat I'm gonna get for everyone in here. That's why it's good to have them in an insulated room. And the albinos, look, they've already messed up their water. Female is, again, she is still filthy from laying those eggs, but she's about to go through a good shed, and you can see that clean, fresh, clean skin that's starting to be visible. She still has, you know, some weight to gain on her hips. Couple good solid feeds and maybe a rodent in between will help her gain that weight back. The male is, oh shoot, that's right. His light, I think it unscrewed or is bad. Give me 1 second. And we're back. The wasn't a big deal when light bulbs went bad when they were just a couple bucks. They're expensive now. So the male, he knew where he needed to be to get his morning heat, but the light bulb wasn't on. So he's in his back corner getting as close as he can to his heat source. And today's feeding day. You saw that he's got, you know, he's really a perfect weight. You can see his wrinkles down his side. Long, slender, but still good fat on his tail. I believe the next thing I'm gonna do is get these Guru Sulfurs in this big water tub and go through them. And then I can finish moving the individuals into these 2 cages and figure out which last 2 I have to sell. And I'm gonna get started on that. Oh, you know what? Let's see if this individual is gonna be okay with me showing you him. Let's see. No tongue flicking, but it's a real pretty monitor. A little defensive. You're okay, buddy. You're okay. It's been out the whole time. It hasn't been hiding. Actually, that one of the bravest black dragons, the one that we're gonna call Norm, has been hiding the most since it's been moved into the new enclosure. But I think because of its personality, it's just gonna take a couple days. Let me get started moving these young guys into the water. All right, I've got them all set into the soaking tub. I'm gonna try and slide the lid off slowly without disturbing them too much. Now, obviously we want females, but to me right now, I think when they're babies and they're all the same size, it's easier for me to tell. Once they all start growing into separate sizes, it gets more difficult. And at different angles, they really have to be the same size for me to tell. I mean, naturally, I want to look at this little one and say that that's a female. It's the smallest one in here, and the face does somewhat look short. I like the fact that they're underwater, so they're not stressing. Now, when I say little one, it's because its brothers and or sisters are significantly larger leading up to this guy. Like, holy smokes, this guy looks like it could eat the little one. And I don't know if you can see the face. There seems to be quite a bit of glare on it. There we go. And that one almost looks, at some angles, like a short face, and then sometimes a longer face. That looks obviously male. And the one next to it, which did have its head exposed, see, like right now, that one kind of looked female. But I don't know. I guess I just pick two and stick them in cages and put the other two up for sale. I mean, initially, what I wanted to get or hold back were the solid shoulder bands, which those two definitely have those Bivitatis solid shoulder bands. This one's wanting to come up for air, but it's not quite sure. It's gonna have to do it. This one doesn't have those crazy shoulder bands, but look at its ocelli with black dots inside of it. I mean, each one of these monitors is beautiful in its own way. Does that sound totally cheesy, guys? I think definitely we're gonna keep this one in hopes that it is a female. And I guess it's gonna be whichever one of these I feel like is the most yellow, maybe? I don't know. One of those. At the end of the day, two of them will be up for sale. I'll show you guys a video once I get them transferred into these other cages. And in today's feeding day, I've got to clean all the waters for the bigs out back and get them all fed. Well, everybody fed, even these little guys. And it's going to be nice to see all of these fed separately. I mean, you have to think that Chunk over here is eating the food before, say, this male or this female. And she looks bigger right now. She's spreading out her stomach to look bigger for me. But when I snatched this guy out, I thought it was one of the bigger, but it's clearly not one of the bigger. But I mean, it just got picked by default. It's in the cage. It's not running and hiding. It stays out on its shelf. And for me, that's great, because an animal that will hang out, I can tongue feed. You know, if it'll tongue flick, it'll deal with me doing water changes and stuff like that. Those are the ones to me that just become naturally tame for me without having all the time to work on them. So let me get started. All right, well, I've got the 2 that will be for sale. I moved them back into the enclosure they were in, so the 2 of them are in there. And now we have the 3 black dragons. 2 are out on the shelves sunning themselves. The one, Norm, is hiding, and all 3 of the holdback Guru Sulfurs, the suspected females, she's on the screen there, but both suspected males are actually sitting on their shelves getting sun, which is awesome. Maybe that elevation, you know, I mean, that's not a bad ratio. 4 out of 6 are sitting on those shelves to get sun. I think that's a win. So next thing I'm gonna do here is get some chicken chopped up and get to feeding these animals. I think we're gonna finish the video moving the white throats off of this material. And I'm not gonna say, this is that finely ground hemp, and I'm not gonna say it's a bad product. I may have over wet it initially and it has caked. Maybe I should have never wet it like that. You know, you're getting a little, it does re-crumble back up, but it's growing a lot of mold since I over wet it in the beginning, and I don't want them breathing so much mold that's even grown mushrooms. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoop most of that out and replace that with Reptibark, and I think I have just enough to do their enclosure. They are going to move into that other 2x2x4, but I don't know if, I think I want them to grow up just a little bit more before I make that move. So maybe they'll be in this aquarium for another month or so. All right, guys, it's about to rain. We can quickly throw food in here for the female sulfur. I know she's in her hide box. You guys never do get to see these guys. And the male, let's see if we can stop him from running. You can see he's real pretty. He's got nice bands. He's probably gonna walk out. All right. Yeah, we're gonna slide his food in real quick and just let him be. He's still getting used to this enclosure. I thought he was gonna stay in his water. You're okay, buddy. Yeah, he's calm now that he actually just climbed up higher, and now he's sitting there calmly. And then, oh, I cannot wait to get my Bivitatis male in a big enclosure. He is growing, and he used to stay outside when you gave him the opportunity. In this small cage, I don't know why, he seems to revert back to hiding. So let's see. Now, this wasn't the real brave one, so I don't know if it will. Any tongue flicking? Oh, I got food. Let's see. Any tongue flicking? No. We'll put food down. Let's see. This one might, the next cage may eat off the tray for us. If we only have seconds until it starts pouring rain. Of course, the sun's out and it's drizzling. Let's see. I wouldn't mind this one. I have a bigger one. Hey, you. It's your food. There you go. As long as you stick to the chicken and not my fingers. that's not Norm. That's the other possible holdback male. Now really, I'd prefer to hold back females, but I think I ended up selling my females. It is what it is. I needed money to build cages more than I needed females, really, this year. Money has taken priority. A big piece of chicken you're getting down. There you go. Yeah, get used to the camera. It's gonna be there your whole life. Okay, we'll back off and let you finish. I think that was a win-win, right? Now, Norm, like I said, will come out and stay out on his shelf. Let's see if he'll come out for food, because Norm was always a good... I don't see him running out to eat. Now, isn't this great? Each one I get to see what it's eating. This is such a... And because I only have to look out for one monitor. Now, this is not the best way with the camera, but I could. Hey, you want it? There you go. There you go. Such a pretty monitor. I know it looks like a lot of food, but these guys are young and they have a lot of growth. They can put away so much food, it's crazy. He's very... He looked different when he's watching my eyes while I'm filming him. Alright, gonna back off and let that be a good interaction. That's another win. Now, here is our suspected female. I know she was on the screen, and that's typically not a good place to approach this interaction. I could maybe put the food there. Let's see. Look, look, look. Yeah, see, to me that's an animal that's still not comfortable yet. None of that tongue flicking. Let's see. And this guy is not out. Actually went to hiding. So we'll just go ahead and put its food down. And again, this is awesome because I'm gonna see who eats what, how much they're eating. Like, I'll be able to differentiate what each animal is doing. I missed the calcium powder on this, but this is for the baby demurrals. I have done good with them with the chopped up chicken, but not, or I'm sorry, the shrimp. Oh, there we go. How's that for Aiden's animals are so calm. It's holding on to my finger while it's eating. Yeah, I'm sure the other one will be out in just a moment. Now again, there is the chopped up bone in there, so the need for the calcium powder, it's not as big of a deal that I missed it. All right, our white throats. Hey guys. Now, I was a little short on the Reptibark. There you go. They are not shy about food. All right, they're looking at me. Go on, smell that food. Okay. Oof, that's a big piece. What is that doing in your... This is for babies. Oh yeah. It started off as I don't like you, but then it turned into I really like chicken. Yep, here we go. Oof. Don't swallow the tweezers. It's a pretty big piece. Go to this one over here. Oh yeah. You're grumpy until... Sorry about the angle, guys. Yeah, no issues eating in this aquarium. We like food over here. They will devour that plate. Those little monitors will make that disappear. Now here's the het black dragons. No, I don't really tongue feed these guys. Oh, this is a horrible angle. Horrible angle. But there we go. How did you see how calm that was? So calm. So calm. I'm gonna switch the camera to my other hand and bring the plate down for you. There you go. These guys are so ridiculously calm. Let's see, you're gonna miss all your food. There you go. You gonna eat with your friend? Woke it up from a dead sleep and it's watered. All it needs to do is tongue flick and realize what's going on. No? No, not that one. Calm in my hands, but not when I put it on the ground. And last but not least, the black dragons. Now, I'm willing to bet money that they're not going to eat off the tongues. Let's see. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong once or twice. Let's see. A little tongue click. That's what we need. Yeah, I know. My hands. There you go. It wants it. No, you don't go around the chicken. The chicken's right there. It seemed like it wanted it, but then it wasn't sure about my hand above the chicken. So I'm just gonna go ahead and it's okay. A little jumpy. Ooh, whoa, whoa. They don't have any issues eating. They'll eat as soon as I walk away. Sorry about that. Funny camera angles. Everything I'm doing requires two hands, and I'm trying to film at the same time. So, and then the albinos. Hey, girl. Hey. Come on. Smell it. Do I have to get the tongs? No, I thought I had the big tongs out here. Just 1 second. That's not like her. To mess around when it, oh, what's this? There you go. There you go. I was trying to hold on to it so she could tear an actual bite out of it. I should cut theirs a little more. Cut it a little better. Yeah, that's so funny. You see her when she pushes the air out. Like that's her real size. Yeah, we'll let her eat. You guys just watched this, I think, like last video. But they're here. Next meal, I think they get rodents, and I need to go fishing and get some fish in the rotation. I think we need to do that maybe next week. Jesus, Jerry, I did a horrible job of chopping this up. Need to leave your food tray in there, do I? You gonna eat upside down? Oh. I think he literally ate that chopped up drumstick sideways. Oh yeah, and another future video that's gonna be good. My buddy Bruce Schwab moved out to Okeechobee, I'd say about a year and a half, maybe 2 years before me, and he opened up an organic chicken farm. And I talked to him when I was looking at property out here, but not since. I've been too busy. And his birthday came up on Facebook and it reminded me, so I gave Bruce a call, and we're gonna work something out so I can get maybe the chicken feet, the heads of the chickens, maybe gizzards, hearts, livers, stuff like that. But it's all organic chicken, and it's gonna be better for them. And obviously, you know, more feathers, beaks, all that good stuff. So we're gonna go and shoot a film out at his farm in the coming weeks, and see what we can't work out for our monitors. All right, guys, I think that's it for today. More to come. Until next time, guys. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. See you soon.